want to say thank you for sharing and reminding me and everyone that it's a practice.
Mm.
I think that relates to my question. I've been sharing the presence protocol and the presence breath with a family member, and I've gotten it doesn't work. Um, and I've been just encouraging that it can take time. And
Mm.
what came up for this person was, I don't think I know what relaxed feels like,
Oh.
and I think there's some truth in that. I
Mhm.
just wondered if you had any um, guidance or words of wisdom um, for folks when they're just new, right, to this, and
Right.
kind of like, they're open to hearing this and listening and
Mhm.
giving it a try, but maybe feel discouraged.
Right. Okay. Um, when I'm working with someone, or not even working with someone, but talking to someone, and this is very new to them, then we mostly start with the nervous system regulation part of the breath. And then sometimes just that piece doesn't work for them. Sometimes they need some additional things. So there are a lot of somatic tools for settling the nervous system. I think the thing that I end up explaining with them at that really rudimentary level is we we can't calm our mind without calming the body, and we can't even think properly or access any kind of clarity when the mind is racing and the body is dysregulated. Those are so closely linked. Even when I was digging into this initially, it was like, well, sometimes people get here through calming the mind, and some people get here through the somatic releases of the nervous system. Um, so those two things working together, I find that if people understand that initial language of, when you're just really ramped up, you can't think clearly, because that is such um, a quick response, and most everybody can recognize that part. I think if they can't drop down below the nervous system response and that high anxiety, or that um, whatever the response is, maybe they're really angry, maybe they're anxious, maybe they're really low and depressed. If they can't shift out of that, they really can't get to the place where they're going to get the intuitive insight. So to start with just calming the body in some additional ways, maybe some tapping. There's lots of different techniques, right? So there's some different things that I've done with people where we go beyond just the presence breath, and then we add a few things. So on our website previously, I had some downloads that are some acupressure points. So there's one here, and that's the adrenal gland. And there's another one here, and that's uh, the diaphragm. It just helps to open that up. It's kind of at the solar plexus level. There is this one, which is just a major gate. It's the same one between your big toe and the next toe. And that just helps the nervous system settle down, because also, unless somebody is out of that really reactive state, they're not going to hear much. They're not going to really hear new truth. And they're not even going to hear their own truth, because they're going, this can't work, this doesn't work, because they haven't settled down below that. So, depending on who that person is, or what you think they're open to, or what you think they might try, I know this one, this tapping just under the collarbone, just here, can be really, really helpful for people. But some people aren't open to trying those things, and that can be really tricky as the helper. So, the number one thing is for you to allow them to have whatever experience they're going to have, and release that within yourself so you can hold that higher vibration. Because whether they are open in the moment, that will just build trust in the relationship, and build trust in what you're bringing and what you're sharing, and what you'd like to try with them, or maybe try this or maybe try that. But settling the body can settle the mind. When the mind slows down below that high beta, then they can start to hear, because those pieces are all part of coming into that space where we are led by our intuitive mind and we're out of that reaction. We're out of that nervous system response to whatever's going on in the moment. So I would add some somatic things. Look at some things that you think this person might try and start there. And until they can enter that relaxed state, doing the full protocol where they're looking at their emotions, they're probably not going to get anywhere with that at the time. You can point out that the emotion indicates that they're in this dysregulated state, but as far as them kind of really being able to observe that, that's tricky unless they can relax and let go.
Thank you for those strategies. Like what came up for this person was going outside, and that's a brilliant idea. But I love the idea in case you can't. Right, this is a very subtle thing to do. You could do that even with other people around, like with the acupressure points and things. So I'm going to suggest that. And as you were talking, what was coming up for me was remembering the win is just the recognition. Like like to even if it's not working. Do you know what I mean? Even if the activation is there, seeing it.
Yes.
And noticing that is actually a win. And I think sometimes it's like, I forget that. I wonder if, and I want to be able to pass that on too.
Yeah.
So, right. That awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Stacey. The first part of the protocol even is to focus and observe. And just when you're out of the reaction, you're no longer in the reaction. So if you can have this person do that, that's a win. Absolutely. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.